Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of PC vs. Console 2015 edition. Now before we get any further into the gameplay, I'd like to mention that I don't play very much CSGO. I really want to play it more, but I don't have a whole lot of friends that have it, so yeah, you're probably thinking it's kind of weird. I know a lot of PC gamers play it, but me and my friends don't. Anyway, so yeah, you're gonna see me do a lot of shit that you probably aren't used to seeing because I'm not that great at this game, but anyway, I thought I did alright for me. So, jumping into the video though, in my last video anyway, I talked about pricing, I talked about controls, and I also gave you guys a tip with aiming. I'm gonna try something different for this video. For this video, I'm just gonna go through each topic quicker than I did in the last one, because that's one thing I thought I could improve on. I said I was gonna go quick, and I think I still did go quick on the last video, but I felt like it took longer than I wanted to on some stuff. So, I'm gonna go over things quickly, and if you guys have questions, you guys can ask me in the comments. Alright, so I'm gonna be covering up modding / DLC. I'm also gonna be covering up comfort and hardware. And maybe I'll have time for getting into games too. And it won't be in that specific order, but we're gonna start off with modding and DLC. So, with modding on PC versus the DLC that you get on a console, and it also is on PC, but if you're just comparing the two, modding is like, it's basically the DLC made by the community of the game. So if you're playing a game, like let's say you're playing Fallout, okay? If you're playing Fallout on PC, you get to download free additional content, and it's all made by people that love and care about the game. And that's the difference between that and DLC. DLC is made more, it's not like it's made without care or anything. It's totally made with, you know, all the right fundamentals, everything that people care about, and it is well thought out. And it is professional too, that's the other thing too. DLC is always going to be professional. It's never going to feel broken, it's never going to have bugs and stuff like that, or if it does, it's going to be patched immediately. That's the difference between modding. Modding, you can have retail quality of work, it's not like you can't. I've played some amazing mods that I thought were up to par, if not better, than DLC. But it's, you know, it's like, okay, I listen to rap. Not everybody who's watching this listens to rap, but rap is kind of a tricky genre. There's a lot of shit, and there's a lot of really good stuff in it. I find that very similar to metal. With metal, there is a lot of shit, but there's also a lot of good stuff too. You have to look for the good stuff. It's very similar just to modding. But the problem with this is people don't like waiting. People like having stuff now, and if you decide to go the DLC route, you get it now. You literally go to the store on your game and you just buy whatever it is, and you get to download it the moment you've bought it. That's a huge advantage. Like, people don't realize, but that is a huge advantage. Sometimes, like especially too, when you're modding, you download, or when you're downloading mods, you download usually multiple different files. Like, you won't just download one mod, you know, as soon as you got one that's working and you like that, you're like, oh hell yeah, I'll download another one. Then when you download that one, sometimes it doesn't always work. Just simple as that. Sometimes it just doesn't always work like that. You have mods that can conflict with other mods. You have mods that can lower the performance of your game. You have mods that will help the performance of your game. Like, actually, mods are designed to make your game run better. That does exist. But, you know, you have to be a little bit more tech savvy. That does come at a price. Not everybody knows how to change config files, and some of the people that are on PC, they're watching this, are like, oh my god, how do you not know how to change a config file? Oh my god, you're fucking retarded, there's instructions. You know, hit the readme text, because that's another thing. When you're downloading mods, they do give you instructions most of the time on it, because not everybody's going to know how to do it. But if you're lazy and you don't want to read the instructions, which, you know, I'm not saying, it's not even being lazy. Some people just don't want to tinker with that, some people just want to know. So that is a huge advantage to DLC. And, you know, to an extent though too, I think if you are going the modding route and you do learn how to install it, I think in the end it is worth it more, because you'll get a lot more content versus, let's say, the 4 or 5 DLCs that are out on the console. So there is that. But anyway, let's move on. I think we spent enough time on that. I said this is going to be quick, but wow, I spent so much time on that. Anyway, yeah, so comfort, that's another one I have here. Comfort's a pretty big one. I think comfort's probably going to be the most important one for this list. The thing with comfort is a console is designed for comfort. A PC can be comfortable, but it's not really designed to be that way. You gotta realize, a PC's initial purpose was for like office work. It was for like, you know, it wasn't for gaming. No matter what way you tackle it, it was not for gaming. You can play games on it. It can be a very, very powerful gaming machine, but its initial, you know, intentions was not for gaming. Some people try to make the argument that, oh, okay, I have a PC in my living room. Isn't that cool? You know, I have a really small, compact PC that I built. It fits in my living room. I can plug a controller into it. Yeah, that's all true, but most people don't do that. That's not really a thing that happens. It's like 99.9% of the people that you talk to on PC will not be playing like that. They'll be playing like I am at my desk, and it just adds on to the list, you know. Do you want to spend the money on a desk? Or if you have a desk, that's cool, but if you don't, and this is your first PC, you know, that could be a huge thing for you, because, I mean, desks, if you want, you know, even to get a nice quality desk for not much money, you're still going to be spending, I would think, probably a little bit over $100. And, you know, combined with that list I told you guys about in the last video, that PC was $700. Even if you got away with a, you know, slightly cheaper PC for like $600, you're still gonna end up running the list up and up and up. So comfort can be a pretty big deal for some people. I mean, you could plug in your PC, I guess, to a wall next to your table or something, like a coffee table or whatever, but you're not gonna want to do that. So console's just nicer out of the package. You can just hook it up to your TV and you can be on your couch. It's cool, and even if you aren't on your couch, even if you take gaming a little bit more seriously, even as a console gamer, and you can totally do that, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I encourage it. Don't feel like you're stupid for wanting to have like a setup or anything like that, like the YouTube videos you see. Even if it is for a console, it doesn't matter. The majority of them are on consoles too. Like, don't feel bad about it at all. I mean, it's cool to want to have a gaming setup. It's awesome to want to have, like, you know, one of those racing chairs, Astro, A40s, whatever. But just don't feel like you need to have it, because you really don't. And the same goes for if you do go the PC route. You don't need to have all this gear. You do not need to have a Naga keyboard or mouse, whatever. I don't even know the names, but you don't have to have a fancy mouse. You don't have to have a fancy keyboard. I play on a Logitech wireless mouse and keyboard combo. That's what I play on. I do plan on pretty soon getting a gaming mouse, but I'm probably never going to upgrade my keyboard unless this one breaks on me, just because I don't play games where I would benefit from it. Gaming keyboards look cool, yeah, awesome to have LEDs on them, but most games that people, like the casual gamer plays, you're not going to benefit from, unless you're playing like WoW or something like that, or you're playing like some game where you want to hotkey something. Those keyboards just will not benefit you. Anyway, moving on to hardware. Hardware is already done for you if you're a console gamer, and that's great. You get to literally play out of the box. You don't have to tinker with your game at all. You don't have to optimize it for your system. Like, let's say you can't run a game. You don't have to mess with the video settings or anything. And it's not hard at all. Honestly, after you've picked up like a couple games, you'll really understand pretty much all the graphical features. I'm not talking about just like medium, low, high, whatever. I'm talking about like anti-aliasing, stuff like that. And I'm not going to explain that in any of these videos, but if you do care to learn or know more about that, just leave me a comment. I don't even have to make a video about it. I'll just literally, you know, I can put it in the comments for you. But yeah, so that's a major thing with the hardware department. You don't have to worry about that if you're on the console, but on PC, you have to worry about all sorts of things, you know, system components being compatible, being able to run a game. Do I even need this part? I mean, it's pretty crazy. You have a lot of customization of the PC. And that's also another benefit, too. I mean, if you want to, you can get really creative and really crazy with your build. I don't know anybody personally who's done that, because, you know, around my age, we've all kind of built budget builds, and we've just slowly worked on them over time. But if you want to, I mean, that is definitely a thing you can totally do. But yeah, that's also another thing too, is you have to be tech savvy when you're dealing with computers. And it doesn't have to be like real tech savvy, like people like to say it's like Legos and stuff. And I'm going to assure you of this, unless you are really really, like, not knowing a single bit, like, whatsoever about what you're doing, it's pretty hard to mess up a computer. But like I said in the last video, guys, I highly recommend you check out PC Part Picker. I mean, they do a lot of the work for you. They let you know how much power your system's going to use. They give you deals, or they don't give you deals, but they tell you about deals in your parts list, like if there's combo deals or anything like that. You know, save yourself a couple bucks. But anyway, though, yeah, so it's pretty hard to mess up a computer if you're building it. Normally what happens is if you have something that you've messed up on, it won't turn on. That's your indicator. Don't get frustrated. It happened to me 2 times when, not the first time, actually, the first time I was building my computer, I was really successful. It booted up first time. But when I was actually switching out to a new CPU the second time, I ended up messing something up. I don't remember what it was, but it wouldn't turn on. Best thing you can do, just relax. You know, play some music, whatever. Maybe have a friend over that knows a little bit about this too, has done it a few times, help you out. Just stay calm. Trust me, you did not break it. I assure you, you didn't break it. It's just, as soon as you figured out what the problem is and you fixed it, it will turn on. There's nothing that's going to be damaged. It'll work fine. But I feel like I'm ignoring the bigger picture here. The bigger picture in the hardware section of this is you have to know your build. You have to get to know it, because if you're upgrading later, you know, 5 years down the road, however long it is that you feel like you need your next part, you're going to need to know the parts that are in your system to upgrade. You're going to need to know if you can just make a simple upgrade. You have to know your build. So that's the differences between them. You know, console, you get it out of the box. PC, you don't, but you have more area and wiggle room and stuff to work with. And I think that's about it. I don't want to make this video any longer. I wish that I had gone to more stuff, but you know, I said I was going to make it quick. I feel like I made it a lot quicker than most would, but I don't know. I hope it entertained you guys a little bit and I didn't make it too confusing. As always, you guys can comment to me in the comment section. And if this video helped you out, share it with a friend. As always, Project signing off.